Welcome! In this series of short videos, we will give an introduction to those who have never used Power Basic before or even considered taking up programming. Today we will look at classes and objects. What are they and how can we use them within Power Basic? So what is an object in programming terms? How can I use it and what is it for? There have been many different coding languages created over the years which have used a wide variety of approaches in allowing you, the programmer, to create applications. One of these approaches was to encapsulate both code and data into something referred to as an object. This can be manipulated, called and updated to perform actions you wish to carry out within your application. The idea behind this encapsulation is that the object is reusable in future applications that would need that functionality. This should save you time developing new applications, as they will be built using a series of pre-built objects and a smaller amount of code specifically written just for that application. As an object is a complete little programming package containing both code and data, all in one tightly contained place, they can be used by other developers who only need to know the interface to the object and need no deep understanding of what's happening inside the object. More on that later. In object terminology, a class is used to define an object, like a blueprint, a description of the variables and routines that make up the object. When in your code you create a new instance of an object, the definitions in the class are used to create the new instance of that object. As such, you can create multiple separate instances of the same object, and each will have its own distinct copy of the variables defined within the class. In Power Basic, the use of objects is optional. In fact, you can freely continue to use subroutines and functions even along with classes and objects. It has been said that computer CPUs do not run classes natively, and that any use of them, while beneficial to the programmer, is bound to bloat the code or slow down the processing. While this may be true of other languages, Power Basic has gone a long way to make the use of objects practical, fast, and with little overhead. Each time you wish to make use of an object, you create a new instance of it. Basically, you instantiate it. This creates the object, which encapsulates both the code and the variables within it. These variables are referred to as instance variables. This data is hidden within the object and cannot be accessed directly, as these variables are invisible to the code outside the object. They can only be read or updated by using the subroutines within the object, by use of a method or property. So what terminology do I need to learn in order to use objects? First of all, class, a definition of a complete object which may include one or more interfaces. Interface, a definition of a set of methods and properties which are implemented on an object. Method, a subroutine very similar to a function or subroutine in traditional code. Property. This is a method used to read or write data to the internal variables within the object. Class method. A subroutine, but private to the object. This cannot be called from the outside code. Instance data. These are variables within the object set up when the object is created. Constructor. This is an optional class method run when the object is created. Destructor. This is an optional class method, run when the object is destroyed. So when should you use objects? Creation of an object requires a degree of planning, as you need to decide what information it should store, how it should manipulate information given to it, and how it should interface with applications making use of it. You may have a review stage after an application has been completed, and as part of that review, you may look at how you can improve your skills and development time for the next piece of work. You could identify that some code that you created using traditional functions and subroutines is very likely to be reused either by yourself or another team in a future development. This would raise the option of redeveloping this useful code in the form of an object that can be easily reused in future applications needing that functionality. PowerBasic does give you the flexibility of having your entire application using objects, or a mix of traditional functions and subroutines with only some objects. I'll put a link in the description below to a simple example of a PowerBasic class. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching.